Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth lesson of this course. In this lesson we'll get the UV maps from this scene and other maps like ambient occlusion or normal maps. In order to do this, we already have our scene painted and the elements separated in polygroups. Now we could keep painting the scene, adding more details. But obviously this course is focused in lighting using materials, so we'll leave the painting for now, though we could change colors or put some more time to it later on. Our scene has 4 subdivision levels, so let's go to the Z plugin menu, click UV Master, and then click Work on Clone. Every time we use this option, we need the model to have at least 1 subdivision level. In our case, it has 4, so there's no problem. Let's enable Work on Clone, and we'll get a low poly white clone of our scene. Now we could start deciding how the textures would unfold into the environment. And we could put loads of time in choosing how to do and unfold the UV map for this scene. But in this case, we want something simple because, as I said before, the colors will be flat and we're not going to incisively work the texture in Photoshop or add photos or any kind of texture on it. We're just going to locate the color parts and nothing else. So we'll go to Z plugin again, uncheck Symmetry, and check Polygroups. By doing this, we'll be telling the program to do the texture unfolding by polygroups, and since we've managed to group the elements in different polygroups, that'll help the program to work better on it. It won't be perfect, but enough for what we need. So we click Polygroups, unwrap, and we wait. Depending on your PC, it will take more or less time. Okay, after the program processes it, we go back to Z plugin, and now we see we can enable Flatten to unfold the texture in a 2D environment. We don't know which part is which, but we can guess these may be the rocks, this is a character, but anyway we'll see the color in Photoshop, so we'll be able to identify the elements and most importantly, the ones that will emit light. Okay, so back to Z plugin, clicking on Flatten, we go back to the initial stage, and clicking Check Seams, we can see the incisions the program has made in the models. As I said, this could have been done better, but we obviously would have had to work differently, and the goal here is to get a texture for the whole scene. And since we've used polygroups, it's more than enough. Now hit Copy UVs, and we go back to our last project, which is always down here, and click Z plugin again, then paste UVs in order to paste them in our project. We wait and we'll be done with this. Next we go to Texture Map, create new from Polypaint, and we get the texture with the color. This is what we'll clone now. So let's go to texture, and we can export the texture, for example, in PNG. So write a name and hit save. So it's time to get the normal map now. In order to get this, we need to lower the subdivision level to 1, like this, and go to normal map, click create normal map, and wait for ZBrush to finish processing the information, which will take some time depending on how powerful your computer is. There we have our normal map already in place. So we hit clone normal map, then texture, export, and name it normal, and save. Another map that would be interesting to get is the Ambient Occlusion Map. In order to get this map, we'll take this one out and then in Texture Map, uncheck Texture on and click New Texture, which will turn the texture white. And after this, we'll set the material to flat color, and this will make all the shadows disappear. Now click on Masking, Mask by Ambient Occlusion. In here, the parameter occlusion intensity, which is usually around here, we'll turn it up to the max right here, hit Mask Ambient Occlusion, and wait. As you can see, it will create a mask on all zones, which would be logically in shadow. We can raise the subdivision level and hit Mask Ambient Occlusion again. It will take a bit longer now because we raised the subdivision level, but if it takes too long, we cancel by pressing Escape, lower the subdivision level to 2, for example, and hit Mask by Ambient Occlusion again. Now with this shadows texture, we go to Texture Map and click Create New from Masking. And that's how we get this texture. Now click Clone Texture, then go to Texture and we export it. Now holding Control, click and drag outside the model to delete the mask. Then the texture. And now we'll load the color texture we created in the first place, which is here. We take out this texture here too in order to leave it organized and raise the subdivision level again. All right, everything is exported now, so let's save the project. And we'll end this part of the course here. In the next one, we'll start by opening our project in Sketchfab, and we'll see in Photoshop where the light emitters are to select them and paint them with a specific color. So we name the file and we hit save. We'll continue in the next lesson.